Hi friends, how are you? By blessings of God, you are doing well. So this is Dr. A B JENA, faculty member, PG Department of Business Management, Fakulty University, Vassavir, Balasore, Odisha. Friends, once again I am welcoming to all of you to your channel, to my channel, Dr. A B JENA Classes. Friends, you have already known from the thumbnail. So आज का discussion क्या है? So friends, so far as today discussion is concerned, friends, today we are going to discuss the 22, that is the top, I mean the vital, I mean the super and most expected, that is the terms, I mean the meaning from the research methodology. So friends, it's the part 3. I have already posted the part 2. So kindly go through the posted video. So definitely you will know the basic things or basic concepts so far as that is the research methodology is concerned. So friends, so far as today discussion is concerned, today discussion will be very useful and fruitful, particularly that is the semester exam for the subject of economics, commerce, management, PMR and other related subjects. Today discussion will be very useful and fruitful, particularly those who are preparing for the assistant professor to qualify, that is the net JRF as well as that is the PhD only. Today discussion will be very useful and fruitful, particularly those who are preparing for the that is the lectureship, I mean the assistant professor, not only for the colleges but also for the university, I mean that is the state and central university. So friends, so I have prepared this video content on of my dear students request. So friends, so during the discussion, if any mismatch or gap you find, kindly give your available comment and suggestion in the comment section. So friends, so without losing our valuable time or golden time, let's start today's discussion. The top 22 the terms, I mean the concept from the research methodology. So friends, so before discussion, I am wishing all the very best for your upcoming, not only the semester exam but also the other related exams. So क्या बात है फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स स्टार्ट टुडेज डिस्कशन. आइए फर्स्ट हम डिस्कशन करेंगे मतलब क्या टी टेस्ट. सो इट्स ए both the टी टेस्ट and the student टी टेस्ट and टी टेस्ट are same. So student टी टेस्ट is a hypothesis that tests the mean of a small sample, I mean under 30, with a bell curve where the researcher does not know the standard deviation. So friends, ASD stands for standard deviation. The main objectives of a t-test is to measure if there is a statistical significant difference between the means of two groups and to determine if this difference was happened by chance or represents a real effect. Is the meaning of t-test. So far as the development of t-test, the William Shelley said develop the t-test. ये friends, so दूसरा meaning of t-test what I have collected from the internet. So friends, so in this video content, I mean the top 22 terms from the research methodology, friends, we will discuss by citing the suitable example and also its application in a real life. So the application of t-test. So t-test is used to determine if a new teaching method significantly increases the performance of a student as compared to the traditional method or control group in education. Similarly, t-test is used to know if an athlete's performance significantly changes after a new training program in sports performance. Hence, t-test is a statistical method or measure which or that is used to determine if there is a significant difference between means of two groups or between a sample mean and a known population value. So friends, it's the meaning of t value. So friends, I am hopeful now you are clear what is the meaning of a t test and the application of a t test. Next one friends क्या है? It's the F test. So F test is a statistical hypothesis test which compares the variances of two or more groups to determine if they are significantly different. The main objectives of F test is to determine if the variances of two populations are equal and to test if there are significant differences between the means of multiple groups. So here, so far as the development of F test, so Sir Ronald F. Fisher has developed the F test. So for the semester exam, so this one is the vital. So application of F test. So where friends we will apply the F test. Suppose an investor can apply the F test to compare the variability of returns between the different investment plans to measure the risks in finance. Similarly, in the case of Medicare, a doctor can apply the F test to compare the consistency or variance in results between various the drugs to measure the which is more effective. Hence, F test is a statistical test which is used in hypothesis testing to check whether the variances of two populations or two samples are equal or not. It's friends, that is the meaning of F test and application of F test. So next one friends, that is the Z test. So Z test is a statistical method which is used sorry, its typing error is there, to test a hypothesis about the population mean when the sample size is large, or you can say the a Z test is used when the large sample size is 30 or more than and the population variance is known. So the application of that is the Z test. So if a researcher can apply Z test in medical research to measure if a new medical treatment or intervention leads to a statistically significant improvement in patients' outcomes as compared to an existing treatment or placebo. Similarly, a researcher can carry out the Z test in market and business research to compare the consumer preferences for different products, measure the effectiveness of marketing strategies, or evaluate the economic policies. So these are in this condition. Also in other area or field, the Z test can be applicable. Hence, the Z test determines whether two population means are different when the variances are known and the sample size is large. Friends, just you read out, it's the another or other meaning of Z test. Next one friends, what is this? The factor analysis. So AFA stands for, friends, it's the factor analysis. So factor analysis, that is the condenses a significant number of variables into smaller number of factors. So friends, don't worry, be happy, we will discuss the factor analysis by citing the suitable example. The main objective of factor analysis is the data reduction, and factor analysis simplifies a large set of variables into smaller by setting the underlying factors and identifies the latent constants. So friends, here these are the variables: education, that is family, that is the situation, also income. So here the factor is what is this? Socio-economic status. So here friends, here that is the in this situation, that is the large number of variables will be converted into smaller number of factors. Now friends, now they are clear. So here, so far as the development of that is the factor analysis. So psychologist Charles Spearman invented or developed the factor analysis. Hence the factor analysis contains many correlated variables into smaller number of underlying factors to simplify data and identify the common patterns. So here another example of factor analysis. So these are the observed variables. So this is the factors. So two factors, that is the cleanness, and these are correlated with the cleanness, and other factor is what is this? Food quality. So these are working time, cleanness, and the staff behavior are coming under that is the cleanness, and whereas taste of food, food temperature, freshness of food. So these observed variables will be coming under the factors food quality. Next one friends, what is the meaning of correlation? So correlation is a statistical method which indicates the degree and direction of a linear relationship between two variables. So examples of correlation: height and weight come under the positive correlation. Taller people tend to weigh more and vice versa. Correlation describes as if variables tend to change together, it is called what is this friends? That is the positive correlation. So friends, we will discuss also the types of correlation. So here the examples of when two variables increases or decreases together, and if income rises, then the spending may also rise. If correlation moves opposite direction, it's known as what is this? That is the negative correlation. So friends, so these these are the two very good examples of a positive correlation. आइए फ्रेंड्स हम देखेंगे when one variable increases and other variable decreases. If number of study hours increases, then the number of sleeping hours may decrease. So now are clear. If a correlation shows no consistent relationship, it's known as that is the no correlation. So now friends, now are clear what is the meaning of positive correlation, negative correlation, as well as no correlation at all. So what are the magnitude of correlation? So correlation coefficient, it's that is abbreviated as R, which indicates the numerical value between -1 and 1, matlab +1. The 1 is the perfect positive correlation, and -1 is a perfect negative correlation, where 0 indicates no linear relationship. So +1 a perfect positive linear relationship, that is 1 positive correlation between the variables. Similarly friends, so -1 perfect negative linear relationship, I mean that is the -1 is a perfect negative correlation between the variables, and 0 whereas it's a no linear relationship between the variables. The main objectives of correlation analysis is to measure and to know the strength and direction of relationship between two variables or more than two variables. So where friends we can apply the correlation. So correlation analysis is applicable in spot trades, making forecasting, finance, psychology, and also in economics. Now friends, now we are clear about that is the meaning of correlation, as well as that is the positive and the negative correlation. So next one friends, that is the multiple correlation. What is this friends? So multiple correlation defines the linear relationship between one dependent variable and two or more independent variables simultaneously. So multiple correlation also measures how well independent variables can predict or explain the dependent variable. आइए फ्रेंड्स हम एग्जाम्पल लेके डिस्कशन करेंगे. A study on investing the paddy production. So paddy production is that is the dependent variable. How many or how paddy production is influenced by the quality of seeds and the amount of rainfall. Both the quality of seeds and the amount of rainfall will be or are coming under the independent or regarded as the independent variables. Here multiple correlation determine the relationship between the paddy production and the effects of seed quality as well as the rainfall, that indicates how well these two factors together indicate the variation of a paddy production. Now friends, now we're clear. So main objective of multiple correlation is to measure the strength of the linear relationship between one dependent variable and multiple independent variable. Now friends, I am hopeful that now we're clear what is the meaning of a multiple correlation. Next one friends, it's the ANOVA. What is this friends? So ANOVA stands for analysis of variance. So ANOVA is a statistical method or measure that or which compares the means of two or more groups by analyzing the variance within each group and variance between groups. For example, the independent variable is social media use, and researcher assigns the groups to low, medium, and high levels of social media, and they or he uses to find out if there is the difference in hours of sleep per night. So this is the very good example of ANOVA. So far as another example, if a pharmaceutical company test 4 different medications to measure if they have variation of effectiveness in treating a condition. Similarly, if a researcher analyzes how many employees training levels how employee training levels impact the customer satisfaction score. The main objective of ANOVA is to compare the means of two or more groups to determine if there is a statistical significant difference between them. Hence, ANOVA uses to compare the difference between the means of more than two groups. It's the meaning of ANOVA. Now friends, now you are clear the meaning of ANOVA. Then, so here the ANOVA is so the type, so it's that is the one way ANOVA. What is this friends? One way ANOVA is a statistical test or method or technique which determines if there is a significant difference in the means of 3 or more independent groups based on one categorical independent variable. So examples of one-way ANOVA. So one-way ANOVA compares the effectiveness of 3 different teaching methods. That is, the lecture method is there, workshop method is there, online learning method is there on student exam score. So friends, now you are clear what to mean by one-way ANOVA. It's the meaning of another or other meaning of ANOVA. Friends, just you read out. So here the teaching method is the independent variable. So these are the lecture, workshop and online learning, and that is the student exam score. It's regarded as that is the dependent variable. So and the exam score of students is the dependent variable. The main objective of one-way ANOVA is to measure if there are any statistically significant differences among the means of 3 or more independent groups based on a single categorical independent variable. So here friends, hence the one-way ANOVA compares the means of 2 or more independent groups to determine if there is a statistical significant difference between them. Now friends, now clear what is the meaning of a one-way ANOVA. Friends, we have discussed by citing the suitable example. Next one friends, two-way ANOVA. So it's also हम भी क्या बोल सकते हैं, one two-way ANOVA, it's the factorial ANOVA. So two-way ANOVA measures the effects of two different independent variables. So the independent variables will be regarded as under two-way ANOVA factors on an outcome variable. It is used to estimate how the mean of a quantitative variable changes according to the levels of two categorical variables. Friends, don't worry, be happy. So we'll cite the example. So suppose the research will be carried out towards the worker productivity. So in this situation, that is the two-way ANOVA technique will be used. So independent variable, friends, I have already told you. So this is the these are the factors. So salary and worker skills, and dependent variables is that is the worker productivity. A company may use two-way ANOVA to see if salary level, skill set, or an interaction between two affects together productivity. So two-way ANOVA analyze how two factors like another example is the car factory and car model affects the dependent variables. It's the that is the gas mileage. So here friends, we can apply the ANOVA. So ANOVA studies the effectiveness of different treatments or medications in medical research. So ANOVA analyze the impact of different marketing strategies, product features or strategies on customer satisfaction or sales in marketing. Next one friends, आइए हम देखेंगे that is the multivariate analysis of variance or it's manova. So manova is a statistical technique which is used to test if difference between two or more groups exist across multiple continuous dependent variable simultaneously. So manova is an extension of ANOVA. So friends, the examples of manova: if students are studying the impact of a new teaching method, it's that is the independent variable on student score. Mathematics and science both are dependent variables. If a marketing campaign is conducted to measure or to assess the combined impact of new advertising strategy, its advertising strategy will be regarded as that is the independent variable towards the customer satisfaction and purchase intent. Both are customer satisfaction and purchase intent are the or regarded as the dependent variable. So friends, now clear what do you mean by manova. So next one, the objectives of manova is to measure the complex relationship, patterns and association between the multiple variables simultaneously within a data set. Hence manova measures whether there are significant difference between the groups when considering the combined effect of several dependent variables. So application of manova: measuring the effectiveness of various patient health indication, that is the blood pressure, weight, quality of life simultaneously in health care. So Another example or where the manova will be applicable, understanding the advertising strategies, influencing the combination of consumer responses on purchase intent, brand perception, customer satisfaction, etc. in marketing and business. The impact of new teaching methods in education of students' learning outcome towards the test scores, engagement levels, and critical thinking skills in education. So, in this area, that is the manova can be applicable. Next one, friends, what is this? The kurtosis analysis. So, kurtosis analysis is a statistical method or measurement that or which measures the tailness and the peak of a data distribution, also shows how heavy or light its tails are compared to a normal distribution. Kurtosis indicates how much data resides in the tails, and the main objectives of kurtosis analysis is to identify whether the tails of a given distribution contain extreme value. So it's the other meaning of kurtosis, friends, which I have already collected from the internet. Just friends, you read out. So friends, where the kurtosis analysis will be applicable or will be applied? So kurtosis analysis measures the risks of extreme price movements in financial assets. Kurtosis analysis also helps to determine the consistency of product measurement in a quality control. Similarly, kurtosis analysis also provides the insight into the likelihood of extreme events in risk management. Hence, kurtosis analysis defines how heavily the tails of a distribution differ from the tails of a normal distribution. So, friends, now I am hopeful now very clear what is the meaning of kurtosis analysis. Next one, friends, ACM. So, friends, it stands for structural equation modeling. So, SAM is a multivariate statistical technique which simultaneously tests the complex relationship between the observed variables. So, friends, observed variable will be regarded as a indicators and the latent. So, it's a that is the unobserved variables. So, friends, you have to remember in the structural equation modeling what is the meaning of the indicators and what is the meaning of that is the latent, and combining elements of factor analysis and path analysis to estimate a network of linear relations in a single analysis. So, the main objective of SAM is to test complex theoretical models, analyze the relationship between the observed and unobserved variables simultaneously. So, friends, so observed variables will be regarded as what indicators, and that is the unobserved variables will be regarded as that is the latent. So, आइए फ्रेंड्स हम देखेंगे एग्जाम्पल द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ सेम the relationship between environmental factors and ecosystem health. Let's say that is the latent variables, and the ecosystem health are measured by observed indicators, that is the species diversity, and other latent variables like the soil quality, which are indicated by soil pH and the nutrient content. Where the structural equation modeling can be applied or applicable in social science, so psychology, business, education, medicine, etc. to model complex phenomena such as influence in the cultural values on behavior, student experience in graduate schools, or the risk factors for the chronic diseases. So, friends, I am hopeful that now clear what is the meaning of a structural equation modeling. Friends, we have discussed by citing the suitable example and where the structural equation modeling will be applicable. So, next one, friends, that is the SPSS. So, friends, it stands for Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. So, SPSS is a software which is used for the data management and statistical analysis across any social sciences research. So, here, so far as the SPSS is concerned, so SPSS is also known as or regarded as IBM SPSS statistics. So, SPSS is a user-friendly software package which is used for the analysis of statistical data and to make the data-driven decisions. The main objectives of SPSS is to efficiently perform the basic and advanced statistical analysis like data cleaning, manipulation, generation of descriptive statistics, table, graphs in a social science research. Next one, friends, what is this statistical inference? So statistical inference is the process of drawing the conclusion about the larger population by analyzing the collected data. The main objective of statistical inference is to use the data from a sample to draw the reliable conclusions and make the prediction about the larger population. Hence, the statistical inference makes the decisions about the parameters of a population based on random sampling. So, I friends, next one हम देखेंगे T score. What is this, friend? T score is a statistical test which is used in a t-test to compare the mean of a small sample to know to a known or hypothesized population mean when the population standard deviation is unknown. So formula how? So by putting this formula you can get the t score. So t is equal to what is this? It's mean minus mu divided by, that is the s, divided by n, that is the root over. So here x is mean, it's the mu is, that is population mean, s it's a standard deviation, and n is the sample size. So the main objectives of t score is to standardize the a sample mean to determine how many standard deviations it is from population mean, allowing for analysis hypothesis testing when the population standard deviation is unknown and sample sizes are also small. So next one friends, Z score. So Z score is also regarded as, हम भी बोल सकते हैं Z value. So Z score is a statistical measurement or method which or that indicates a data points distance from the mean that is expressed in terms of standard deviation. So it's the formula. By putting this formula easily we can get the Z value. So it's the other meaning of a Z score, friends. Just you read out. So here interpretation of a Z value. So Z value, a Z value of 0, the data point is exactly at the mean of the distribution, whereas a positive Z value, the data point is above the mean, and a negative Z value, it indicates the data point is below the mean. The main objective of Z score is to standardize data for comparison, interpret the position of a data point within a distribution, identify outliers, and calculate the probabilities and percentiles using the standard normal distribution. So here the practical application of Z score in real life. So here's a, suppose you can use a Z score to understand where or your height or weight falls in relation to the average person in a country or in a group. Another example in finance, Z score measures the market volatility and also helps to traders understand the potential shifts and makes the informed decisions. Hence, Z score represents how many standard deviations a specific data point is away from the mean of a distribution. So friends, now I am hopeful what is the meaning of Z score and how the Z score is calculated, interpretation of Z value, and the practical application of Z score in real life. Next one friends, what is this? That is the R squared, और हम बोल सकते हैं क्या, कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ डिटर्मिनेशन. R squared is a statistical method or measure which or that indicates the proportion of the variance in a dependent variable that can be explained by the independent variable in a regression model. So friends, is the other meaning of R squared. Just friends, you just read out for more clarification. So here the interpretation of R squared. So here friends, high R squared means a closer to 1 or 100%, which indicates a strong relationship between independent variables and dependent variables. Low R squared means closer to 0, or it suggests or low R squared suggests that the independent variables explain little of the variation in the dependent variable. The main objective of R squared is to measure how well independent variables of a regression model indicates the variance in the dependent variable to measure the model's goodness of fits. So friends, now I am hopeful now clear what is the meaning of R squared and the interpretation of R square. So next one friends, it's that is the journal impact factor or it's JIF. Friends, what is this? ये क्या है? JIF measures a journal's average importance by identifying or quantifying how frequently its articles are cited in a specific period. Normally, JIF is calculated by taking the information, I mean the data, 2 years. So JIF is a metric for the citation rate of articles published in a specific journal. So hence the JIF is calculated by dividing the total or the number of citation articles published in a journal during the previous 2 years, received by the total number of citable articles published in those 2 years. So friends, don't worry, be happy by citing the suitable example how the JIFA is calculated. In next slide we will discuss. A higher JIF generally suggests a more reputable and influential journal within its field. So it may be the science or it may be the social science, also in other research area. So formula for the calculation of JIF. So JIFA for the year Y, it's so Y stands for year. Number of citation to items published were year 1 and year 2 divided by total number of citable items published in year 1 and year 2. Suppose here the citations for the 2 years it is 2000 and its citable items is 800. So it's 2000 divided by 800, it's 2.5. So journal impact factor is what is this? It's 2.5. Hence in 2024 JIF for the journal is 2.5, meaning or average or articles published in 2022 and 23 were cited 2.5 times in the year 2025. So other example of that the calculation of JIF citations in 2022 to items published in 2022, it's suppose 50,983 plus 2021, it's 28,583 divided by number of citable items in 2022 215 plus 2021 it's 256. कुल मिलाकर कितना हुआ? 79,566 divided by 471. It's that is the JIF will be 168.9. So friends, now we are clear what is the meaning of JIF and how it is calculated. It's the common question in the interview board so far as that is the assistant professor. So next one friends, that is what is this? It's the H index. Friends, what is this? H index is a quantitative measure which measures a researcher's scholarly impact and productivity by taking into both the number of published papers and their citation. So it's a H index is 8. How it's a H index? So friends, I have collected this image from the Google or internet. So it's a first paper is 87, second paper 70, third paper 46, fifth paper it's a or article is 19 and sixth paper article is 15 and 7, 10, 8, 9. So here that is the article number 9, it's a that is the number of cited is 8. So this will not be taken into consideration. So 8 articles have been cited at least 8 or more times. So friends, what I have already told you, the remaining articles have not cited 8 or less than. So here a scientist has the index H if H of his or her NP papers have at least H citation each and their other NP minus H papers have at most H citation is. So friends, now clear what is the meaning of H index and how it is calculated. So hence the H index journals, some of the H index journals are Nature, the New England Journal of Medicine, Science for the science field. Similarly, American Journal of Psychology, British Journal of Sociology, Indian Journal of Agriculture Economic Sciences, that is the DESI Journal of Library and Information Technology, Indian Economics and Social History Review, Indian Journal of Industrial Relation, Indian Journal of Political Science in the case of social sciences. So these are the very good reputed journals, and they are having with or H index. So next one friends is the citation. क्या है citation का मतलब? So citation is a reference to a source. In journal, citation is a formal acknowledgement of work of another author's work that or which includes the ideas, words or data that a researcher has used in his or her own writing or research paper to give the credit and avoid the plagiarism. And the SCI Journal, so far the SCI Journal, so SCI it stands for Science Citation Index. So SCI Journal refers to a journal index in the SCI which is a part of the that is the Clarivate's web of science. SCI journals are selected for their high quality, rigorous peer reviewed, significant citation and adherence to good publishing practices. The example, the very good or some of the reputed that is the SCI journals are that is the Nature Reviews, JAMA publication, the Lancet, in New England Journal of Medicine, Chemical Reviews, etc. So these are the examples of a reputed SCI journal. So friends, it's the last but not the least. It's also DOI. What is this friends? So it stands for Digital Object Identifier. So DOI is a unique and the persistent alphanumeric string that serves as a permanent web addresses for an online journal article. The main objective of a DOI is to provide a unique, persistent and permanent identifier for an electronic document such as a journal article. So friends, so these are all about today's discussion. So I am hopeful that so you have enjoyed a lot from this video content. So friends, again I am requesting to all of you during the discussion, if any mismatch or gap you find, kindly give your valuable comment and suggestion in the comment section. So if you have not subscribed my channel, kindly you subscribe it, kindly you share it, kindly you forward it. I am waiting for your valuable comment and suggestion. Kindly you give for the next video. So thanks a lot to all of you.